Today, we're going full 1800s queer espionage. I'm talking about a secret lesbian code, literally. Anne Lister, aka Gentleman Jack, was keeping detailed receipts on her love life before women could even vote. She wrote it all in her own handmade cipher, called Crypthand. By the end of this video, you're going to know what Anne's Crypthand was and how it worked, how she rated her lovers. Yes, there were scores involved. Who cracked the code, and why her diaries matter today. You'll also learn how to write "Lesbians have always been here" in Anne's cipher. No big deal. Stick around till the end. I'll show you a tool where you can convert your own messages into Anne's code and leave your rating of this video in the comments in cipher. Let's get into it.
Anne Lister was born in 1791 in Halifax, England. She was a landowner, traveler, mountaineer, obsessive diarist, and a lesbian in a world that refused to acknowledge we even existed. She wrote more than 4 million words in her diaries, and around 1/6 of it was written in a private cipher. These weren't grocery lists. These were raw, explicit, emotional entries about her love affairs with women. Not only did she document them, she rated them. Yes, Anne had a scoring system. Anne was masculine presenting, wore black all the time, and didn't care what people thought. She took communion in church to seal a private marriage to her partner, Anne Walker, in 1834.
So how did she keep her sapphic business private? She invented a secret code called Crypthand. It was a mashup of Greek letters, zodiac symbols, punctuation, and math symbols. A homemade substitution cipher. Imagine replacing A with 2, B with an open parentheses, and so on. Complete chaos, unless you had the key. She even made shortcuts for common word pairs like SH and TH. And she used symbols for the big O. That's not a joke. She would literally put an X next to an entry if the night and she used symbols for the big O. That's not a joke. She would literally put an X next to an entry if the night ended with one. So, if you're decoding and see something like 2 kisses last night, X, well, now you know what that means. Her diary wasn't just a confessional. It was a full-on coded archive of lesbian life. The Crypthand remained a mystery until the late 1800s. Anne's descendant, John Lister, found the diaries, and with his friend, Arthur Burrel, cracked the cipher using a familiar biblical phrase that Anne had written. When they realized what the diaries contained, explicit lesbian love stories, Arthur panicked. He told John to burn them, but John didn't. He hid them behind a panel at Shibden Hall. Decades later, historian Helena Whitbread unearthed and published them uncensored in the 1980s. For the first time, a lesbian voice from the 1800s was loud, proud, and completely undeniable.
Anne's Crypthand matters because she left a record when no one else did. Her diaries are proof that lesbians have always been here, falling in love, sleeping with women, making lists, and living full queer lives. Today, her work is recognized by UNESCO, and her diaries are considered a cornerstone of lesbian history. Not bad for a baddie with a homemade cipher. Alright, let's decode a phrase together. Here's what "lesbians have always been here" looks like in Anne's Crypthand. Wild, right? Each number or symbol matches a letter using her cipher system. Want to try it yourself? I linked a tool in my Linktree that auto-converts your messages into Anne's code. Check it out. If you learned something new, hit that like button, subscribe for more queer history deep dives, and follow me on TikTok and Instagram at BritRiddit. I post daily content there too, and I'd love to connect with you. Now, your challenge, should you choose to accept it. Drop your rating of this video and Anne Lister's cipher in the comments. Let's see if I can decode it. Thanks for watching, and remember, Our stories are never missing. They were just written in code. See you next time on the Lesbian Agenda. Bye!